What's up, guys? This is Common Sense here, or you can call me Ryan. That's my actual name. This is actually my first real face cam video, and that Battlefield video I did the other day doesn't really count. So this is the first real face cam video, and please mind the camera. It's pretty garbage. It's my dad's old face camera. It only runs at 15 frames per second and a really low resolution. But hopefully my audio is clear enough through this microphone, this cheap ass headset. Hopefully it's clear enough. And let me give you an introduction to myself. I'm almost 23 years old. I'll be 23 in July 14th. And as far as my gaming history goes, I started playing games in around 1999, 2000, and that's when my dad bought me a Sega Dreamcast. And I remember it perfectly. We went to like one of those electronic stores in Charlotte, and he bought me the Dreamcast. It came with like the demo disc, and he bought me Sonic. I think he bought Crazy Taxi, and he bought like another controller. It's like a clear blue controller, and he also bought a VMU to save the game files. And also, I've owned a PlayStation Portable. I've owned a Game Boy Color. I've owned a Nintendo GameCube actually, and last generation I had a Xbox 360. That was the only thing I had. It's a crazy story how my history of my 360 went. It was a crazy story. I'll probably do that in another video. It's another topic for another day. And right now I own a PS4 and a PC, and that's pretty much my gaming history as far as like the type of hardware I've owned. And the topic I want to get into today, before I go out of town, I have a wedding to go to. My aunt's having a wedding, so I'm gonna go to that. So topic I want to get into is something I've been seeing in the gaming community. Some of my videos will be about the gaming community. This one is the old school versus the new school, the older gamers versus the newer gamers, or the younger gamers, or the older generation versus the newer generation, whatever you want to call it. Oh, can you see my hands? Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I feel there's a certain type of divide between these two sets of gamers. I mean, it's kind of hard to put anyone in one particular box because of the age range. I think I kind of fit in the middle because I started playing games in the 6th generation, not the 7th generation, because the 6th generation had I believe it had it officially started with the Dreamcast. Then you had the PS2, the Xbox, then you had the what else, the GameCube later on. I think that was 2001, 2002 when the GameCube came out. But I think there's this division between the older generation and the newer generation. And well, I've heard older gamers talk about how games were harder back then, but in my mind I'm thinking, weren't the games much simpler back then and less complex? And I do feel that a lot of games these days have been dumbed down. There's not that many difficult games out there, but the games have become more complex at the same time, but they're not very difficult to beat. Like, you can look at the difficulty settings of a lot of modern games. Usually there's an easy mode, normal mode, and a hard mode. And most people are playing on the normal mode or the easy mode. Even the hard mode isn't really that hard. It's like the hard mode has become the new normal mode, and normal mode is the new easy mode. And I feel that younger gamers feel they don't get respect from the older gamers, or their opinions aren't as valued or taken as seriously because of their age and their lack of experience in gaming. And I don't think that's particularly right, because you can always do your research and learn things. You have the internet today. You can pretty much look at anything you want. And I apologize, I'm reading from my paper here. I just wrote down these topics just out of nowhere, and I do tend to feel that there are some grumpy old gamers out there, or the type of games like, oh, our games are harder back then, or oh, back in my day we had to plug these component cables into the back of the TV. We had to actually tune the channel just to play the game. We had to use cartridges. the get off my lawn, you nosy kids type of gamer. I mean, you do hear from them sometimes, and it kind of does get annoying, but you kind of learn to go with the flow over time. And what else do I have to talk about? I think maybe the younger gamers don't really appreciate the past. They just see what they have now. We've been spoiled. We have even the last generation consoles. They had Ethernet and all these apps we can use. Even the original Xbox 360 didn't even have Wi-Fi built in. You had to buy an adapter, and I never even bought an adapter for my first 360. I didn't have the Wi-Fi until I bought the Xbox 360s, the all black one, the smaller one, and it had Wi-Fi built in. So for most of my time with the original 360, the Pro, I think it was the Premium. That's the right name. My fault. But it didn't have Wi-Fi built in, so we just ran off Ethernet. So, like, if there was no Ethernet cable around or Ethernet port that supplied an internet connection, I was SOL. So, I played a lot of Gears of War and Halo and some Call of Duty back then. So, that was the only way I was able to play online. So, I had to position my desk in another, like, on the other side of the room just to be in range of that Ethernet port. And now we have these next gen consoles, these so-called next gen consoles that are pretty underpowered for compared to the last generation consoles, which were actually pretty formidable. But now these consoles are kind of behind like current day PCs and all the current hardware. And I do get the vibe that young gamers don't appreciate the past because they've been so spoiled for what they have now. And can there be a common ground? That's the question I ask myself. Is there a way for both sides to have mutual respect for each other? And I think there can be if the older gamers are willing to educate the younger people without coming off as condescending, and if the younger gamers are willing to listen and learn things, but all on the other hand, they should be embraced because they are the current generation. Well, the younger generation, the next generation of gamers. And that's it for today. I know this is really unprofessional. The camera, me always looking at my paper, and well, the bad quality. But this is just a test. I might get a better camera in the future if I can save up some money, because I'm trying to save the money I have right now, and not trying to upgrade my computer. So just trying to figure things out. But hope anyone who watches this enjoys the video and maybe get something out of it. Or also, if you have like any questions, or you have a opinion, or you want to write something down in the comment section, feel free. I'll answer it. Not many people. I only have like 9 subscribers, so I don't really expect any real comments. But anyone who does comment, I'll be happy to respond to you. And that's it. Thank you. I'll see you next time.